When it comes to Five Nights at Freddy's, we talk about mysteries a lot. The mystery of the nightmares, the mystery of Old Man Consequences, the mystery of what brand of chewing gum Michael Afton preferred, all sorts of stuff. FNAF is full of mysteries, so how about we touch on one a little different? How about we try to work out the mystery of the Circus and Balloon Animatronics and where in the heck they came from? Because that's one that's haunted me for quite a while. I'm sure if you're a collector of FNAF merch, you've probably seen these designs somewhere. A merch-based collection of clown, balloon, and circus-themed versions of the original band. In fact, for a while, they were everywhere, appearing in traditional action figures, mystery minis, and Funko Pops, and even as of August of this year, they appeared in the newest FNAF coloring book. An odd decision since it's been a while since they were first circulating. So, what game are they from? They're not. Oh, then, they're from the books. Nope. Okay, are they just Funko designs to make merch? Well, maybe, but there's something fishy about these little guys, and soon you will see it too. But let's begin with their designs. They are broken into two variations, the Circus Animatronics and the Balloon Animatronics. The Circus Animatronics consist of clown versions of Freddy, Bonnie, Chica, and Foxy, though instead of being animatronics, for the first time in merch form, these characters seem to be based more off of cartoons, strangely enough, with big expressive eyes and bodies without much articulation. Also, they have this unique packaging with spotlights and balloons. Also, one thing I want to note here that I noticed, some folks were thinking because they're called the Circus Animatronics that they're connected to Circus Baby, and there doesn't seem to be any immediate evidence that that is the case. And I think that's because Circus Baby is technically not a circus animatronic. She is part of the Funtime band. I think, how do I say this? Circus Baby is her name, maybe not her title. I don't necessarily think Circus Freddy, Circus Bonnie, Circus Chica, Circus Foxy are part of a separate circus line when she was aligned with the Fun Times. Unless, of course, they predate Circus Baby. The first of the lot is Circus Freddy. Circus Freddy is a circus clown with a painted face, white on the muzzle and around the eyes, and a red nose. He wears a blue vest with white buttons, a big red and white polka dot blue bow tie, and a blue top hat with a white band and a red flower. He does not wear shoes, but does wear white gloves. He comes with an inflatable hammer, and his mystery mini pose has him sticking his hand out. Here's my Clown Freddy mystery mini. My best friend got him for me for my birthday in a blind box. Isn't he cute? So, this is a very friendly design of Freddy. It really does just look like a cartoon version of him dressing up like a clown. Simplistic, but doesn't feel low effort. Next is Circus Bonnie. Circus Bonnie has his face painted in the same pattern as Freddy, but with a much bigger smile and buck-toothed bunny teeth. His long ears have stripes at the end and bells at their tips, which sort of gives me security puppet vibes. He has a ruffled white collar, white gloves with ruffles, and 2 white puff balls on his belly. He comes with a stick of dynamite shaped like a carrot. It's very Looney Tunes-esque. Circus Bonnie is even more simplistic than Freddy, but this design in particular has sort of grown on me. I have him in action figure in mini form because I just thought he was really cute, especially with his mystery figure's hands-out pose. Next is Circus Chica, and there's a lot going on here. First off, this is another white version of Chica a la Funtime and Glamrock. Though unless I'm wrong, this is the first Chica since Toy Chica to have blue eyes. She's also the first Chica to have hair, having pigtails held up by black bands, 1 pink and 1 half pink. The pigtails somewhat resemble certain versions of Helen Henny from Chuck E. Cheese, especially the Galaxy 500 movie version. Chica lacks most face paint, but has these little green stars next to her eyes. She wears a lot. She has a pink shirt with a dark pink vest with green buttons and a white and blue checkered print tie. She has a puffy green skirt with a white frill rim and with pink and dark pink patches. She has pink pants or leggings with blue spots, wears no gloves, and has a pink and green striped party hat. She comes with a water squirter bottle, one that she can be seen holding in her mystery mini. I think Clown Chica's design is where we start seeing a lot of deliberate effort. There's a lot of details here, and it doesn't exactly feel cluttered. I mean, yes, there's a lot going on with this shirt, but it's not messy. The final of the circus gang is Foxy, also known as Sad Clown Wet Cat Foxy. He's styled to be a sad clown with sorrowful lidded yellow eyes, and no eye patch, notably, and downturned eyebrows. His face paint involves the same red nose and white around the eyes and mouth, but also has blue eyeshadow and 2 blue teardrops beside his eyes. He has a long muzzle with 2 little white teeth, fluffed whiskers, and droopy ears that are painted white, and an orange tail. He has green pants with yellow suspenders and blue buttons, with a yellow patch on the leg. He carries a deflated balloon. Both his Mystery Mini and his Funko Pop depict him with his hands in his pockets instead. Circus Foxy is pretty cute, and when he was first revealed, I saw a lot of folks saying that he was their favorite. But what's new? This is Foxy we're talking about. So a well-designed group of circus performers, but we're not done, because we also have the balloon line alongside it. Unlike what the name implies, these were not balloon animals or made of balloons, but balloon boy versions of the cast, weirdly enough. Only one of them got an action figure, and that was Balloon Freddy. Balloon Freddy looks like a little Freddy bear cub wearing Balloon Boy's attire, even with a propeller hat, dark blue shorts, and carrying a blue balloon. Though the shading of red is a little different and the stripe alignment is changed. He has his arm behind his back. He kinda looks like the Chibi Baby Freddy from the Chibi Baby FNAF shorts. Side note, but look at this little Foxy, he is so cute. Then there's Balloon Bonnie, who also got a Funko Pop. He wears a pink and red Balloon Boy ensemble, light blue shorts, and has a cute bucktooth smile. He also has a pink balloon, and he has his arm out excitably. Balloon Chica is a cutesy little chick with freckles, a purple, pink, and red ensemble, little blue shorts, and has a purple balloon. Her arm is tucked in shyly. Balloon Foxy has a red and yellow attire, light blue shorts, sharp eyes, and a yellow balloon. His hand is in his pocket. Now, Foxy and Chica have recolored variants while Balloon Bonnie has a glow-in-the-dark Mystery Mini, but there's also another variation of Freddy that's not just a strict one color, but totally recolored. This Freddy is white with pink cheeks, blue eyes and balloon, and a pink and yellow striped ensemble with pink shorts. They have not been given a distinct name. This brings us up to about 8 distinct characters, 9 if the white Freddy is its own character. Now, even though the balloon lot have a lot of the same traits, the amount of detail on these is pretty surprising, and for the circus ones too. Remember, this was around the time that Funko was releasing FNAF figures that were just recolors. Needn't I remind you of Cheese Trap? So to have these characters so distinct, it was surprising, and it got people thinking that maybe these characters were for an upcoming game. Or, well, people, I mean me. I thought this was a leaked future character situation, and that's why I mentioned these guys in a few of my character history videos. Now, you might think that that was a leap, but it wouldn't be the first time it happened. As you likely know, Monty Gator and Roxanne Wolf were both leaked by merch name drops before they were officially revealed. And merch leaks also spoiled their designs before they were supposed to. Heck, the Circus and Balloon Animatronics were name dropped long before they were revealed too. So the idea that they were for a game and released too early wasn't too out there, especially considering some extra context. Now, Fall Fest and the impending game surrounding it was a rather recent reveal, but as far back as Ruin, we had a code name for a game called Carnival teased in the files, and this wasn't Help Wanted 2. So an upcoming circus game has been in the cards for a while. And not only that, but the deliberate Balloon Boy designs. Where else have we had a focus on Balloon Boy recently? Well, in Security Breach we had Balloon World, the hardest secret to find and one of the only secret minigames in the game, involving a balloon circus, well at the beginning at least, Balloon Boy, Sun and Moon. And guess who just got a Scarecrow-esque Halloween-themed variant? Sun and Moon, with Jack-O-Moon. It looks like something's coming together. There's a lot of minuscule connections here that can mean something big. So these figures came out, and then nothing. Help Wanted 2 came out, and nothing. Diddly squat. The circus and balloon characters came and went and disappeared as quickly as they had appeared. Well, disappear. The merch is still floating around, but you get what I mean. They were a mere glimpse in time, save the fact that they just appeared in a coloring book. And I mentioned the coloring book showing because there's book and game characters there, so they had plenty of characters to work from. Having these guys be in it was Peculiar. I blinked when I saw them. So, what gives? Well, there's some options here. The most basic and seemingly most likely is that despite the fact that the designs are so distinct and well detailed, and the figures had unique molds, that they were just Funko filler. They released during a Funko Fair promotion even, Fair, Circus, and they pretty much stood in for the yearly line of figures and minis that Funko had gotten used to. It's very possible that these characters were only made as exclusives to fill that opening, because they needed a new cast and Ruin wasn't out yet. But there's something funky about all this. Remember, the Security Breach minifigures lacked characters like Sun, Moon, DJ Music Man, the Staff Bots, or any of the Shattereds. There was more than enough to use some of those for a new line of mystery minis. And if not, they could have turned to the books, because weirdly enough, there was a selection of mystery minis based off of the Silver Eyes and the Twisted Ones, but unless my dates are wrong, the graphic novel of the Twisted Ones wasn't out until years later. And sure, the Twisted Ones do appear on merch occasionally, but the point is that there were other possible characters. And the designs, the care to make them fit the theme and be distinct, these aren't just recolors, they have some light but clear personality added in. Funko went through a weird period, like when they were willing to have System Error Toy Bonnie and High Score Toy Chica, but not regular Toy Bonnie and Toy Chica. Going through this much effort almost isn't on brand, if you get my meaning. Even their specialty holiday figures are detailed but don't involve a whole new style. And before you think anything, like, I do like Funko's action figures, and they do make some cool merch. This isn't me saying that Funko's awful. I've seen a lot of opinions saying that Funko is pretty bad and that the figures they make are pretty awful. But, I don't know, I've seen them make some pretty neat stuff, such as the Sun and Moon figures, and Scrap Baby and Innard are some of my favorites. Anyway, what I'm getting at is, a possibility is that these were for a future game, and that future game simply hasn't come out yet, i.e. for the Fall Fest. That the Circus and Balloon Animatronics are for the Carnival and look so cartoony because they are cartoon characters in the game. Secret of the Mimic, assuming it is the Fall Fest Carnival game, takes place in the 1970s, and that was a time with a very unique art style with its cartoons. There was a lot of Hanna-Barbera hanging around, and I could possibly see this design translating into a Hanna-Barbera style, especially considering that Freddy and Friends on Tour, the teaser cartoon for Security Breach, shared this style. I mean, remember when I brought up Looney Tunes with Circus Bonnie's Dynamite Carrot? Well, Looney Tunes was downright huge in the 70s. But how come the figure's released now instead of later? Well, I don't know. Maybe due to a miscommunication. Maybe because Funko needed designs, and these designs were just vague enough to not really spoil anything anyways. Or maybe they were planned in advance and things weren't changed. This doesn't involve FNAF, but there was a situation where a line of merch released for a game years before it came out and led to some bizarre circumstances. I am talking about, of course, Bendy and the Dark Revival. And this involves Joey Drew Studios, the makers of Bendy, and Fat Mojo, a merch-making company. Years before Dark Revival released, Fat Mojo released a line of Bendy figures and other merch. They did a lot of merch. There was then a falling out between them and Joey Drew Studios, a legal one that I haven't been able to find out too much about because, of course, legal issues. The long and short of it, I think, was that apparently Fat Mojo was not paid in full and then sued Joey Drew Studios. What I think happened, considering the timing, was that they made the merch and the game got delayed, and that might have led to a deficiency in sales and some sort of contractual issue, and that caused the falling out. That's not important, though. What's important is that these figures actually had early designs of the characters, specifically notable with Little Bendy himself, who has the early cracked face design and a slimmer build, and the Ink Demon, who is a completely different version of the character. Now, years later after the game released, Joey Drew Studios made a new line of action figures without Fat Mojo, and that's how I got 2 Little Bendies. Also, here's a quick review of both figures. And know that I don't have any bias here, I actually have a good deal of the Fat Mojo merch, specifically the bacon soup blanket, which I love, the old plushies, which I love, so I'm going directly off the figures themselves. They stand about the same height, though Fat Mojo's figure is a little taller. Fat Mojo's figure also has a flat painted face, while the newer figure has a bumpy ink texture with only the face being flat. This newer version has more details, lines across the vest, more ink splotches, and Bendy's strained, tired eye lines. Most importantly, I find, is the articulation. Mojo Bendy has technically 4 points of articulation, his shoulders and his hips. But his hands, feet, and head can all turn. New Bendy has joints at his shoulders, elbows, wrists, hips, knees, and ankles. These rotating ankles and wrists make it much easier to balance him and put stuff in his hand. I love both figures, but I think the new one definitely improved over the old one. Okay, I got seriously sidetracked, but my point is that these could be for a game, and it just didn't come out yet, and that we may see these characters in the future, perhaps in an updated form, or perhaps not. The biggest difference being that I don't think Funko would have any contractual obligations attached. FNAF is a merch money printing machine. You could release 5 different colored puppets and you better believe they'd fly off the shelves. I'd buy them. I've got a special shelf where I'd put all my puppet action figures. If they had one. Anyway. Alright, so what have we learned? The Circus and Balloon Animatronics were not, or currently aren't, animatronics. They're a line of merch-exclusive characters for Five Nights at Freddy's who were made during a time when no other games had immediately released, though were made despite the fact that there were plenty of other characters that could have been used. Because of upcoming games about carnivals and fairs and Funko's history of leaking characters, it was and maybe is believed that they are for an upcoming game, but the gap between merch and game is slowly widening. But then again, Bendy and the Dark Revival is an example that this can happen. And what do I think of the designs? I love them. I think they are adorable. They're far from scary, but they would be perfect cartoon designs for in-game promotional material, cutouts, decorations, all that jazz. So despite the fact that they're not these big, terrifying cretins, there's still a place for them, and with how well they're designed, I think they should come back in some form. And if these were Funko designs that they made in-house solely for merch purposes, then I'm downright flabbergasted that they didn't do this earlier or since. Like, why not? I'm not sure how well they sold, but this is FNAF. If you make it, people will sell it on eBay for tons of that sweet, sweet moolah moolah. So this is where the story of the Circus and Balloon Animatronics end. Maybe for now, maybe forever, but we'll just have to see. Thank you for watching.